So let's begin our meditation by simply bringing our awareness intentionally, consciously, to the present moment. To be right here, right now. And to do it consciously, from the seat of consciousness, noticing the moment. And that in the moment, there's no thing else happening, just energy, the universe unfolding. Now let's shift our focus to our physical body as we check in the body by scanning from head to toe. Noticing what you experience by scanning the body. Is there any tension, tightness, disturbance of any kind present? And if there is, just bring awareness into that. No judgment, just bringing awareness to whatever may be happening. And now consciously relaxing the energy throughout the body. Just loosening the body, the shoulders, the neck. And where possible, releasing and letting go. And now just for a few moments, let's bring our awareness to our breathing. We'll breathe in and out for 5 counts. On each count, breathing in and out through your nose. If that's not possible, in through the nose and out through the mouth. If that's not possible, breathing through the mouth is fine. At the top of the in-breath, we'll hold for a moment and then breathe out slowly. So if you would breathe with me, breathing into the count of 1. Holding the breath and breathing out. And relax. Full awareness on the breath, breathing in to the count of 2. Holding for a moment and breathing out. And relax. Breathing in to the count of 3. Holding for a moment and breathing out. Relaxing deeply now. Breathing in to the count of 4. Hold the breath and breathing out. Once again, full awareness on our breathing as we breathe together to the count of 5. Holding and breathing out. Relaxing fully. Now bringing your awareness within, consciously going within, behind, beyond the thinking mind, going to the seat of consciousness, seat of the aware, the seat of the experiencer, the one who notices. You may notice that it's becoming a little quieter now inside. That as we progress along the spiritual path, this begins to happen naturally. It also allows us to notice that in the past, how completely overwhelmed we had been by the constant barrage of thoughts, emotions, sensory input. You may be contemplating or realizing or become aware that you actually can go beyond all of these disturbances. That the more you sit in the seat of the witness consciousness, the more you realize you are completely independent of what you are watching. You are the watcher, the experiencer. And in that knowing, experiencing that there is a way to break free of the hold that the psyche has on your awareness, there is a way out. Many times, this breakthrough is traditionally depicted by the misused term enlightenment. And the issue with that is that our view of enlightenment is based on personal experience or limited conceptual understanding. Most people have limited or no experience in this realm. Sometimes enlightenment can be viewed as the ultimate mystical experience, a state that is accessible to almost no one. And yet, as we contemplate, begin the understanding that thoughts, emotions, and sensory objects are simply passing before you, before your consciousness. And in this state of awareness, it's reasonable to question whether your sense of awareness need be limited to this experience. What if consciousness were to remove its focus from your personal set of thoughts, emotions, and limited sensory input? Would you become untethered from the bonds of the personal self, be set free to explore beyond that? You contemplate the question, how exactly did consciousness become bound to the personal self to begin with? This may seem to be a problem as we just simply attempt to consider these questions as they call for a discussion, contemplation of what exists beyond the confines of the thinking mind. That discussion can be difficult to have from within the mental structure that we are accustomed to using. In the words of Michael Singer, Let's begin exploring the untethered state through the use of an allegory. And remembering that he describes finding yourself in the midst of an open field, sun always shining, place of great light, openness, so beautiful, enchanting that you want to live there. So imagine, picture yourself buying up the land. You personally design and build the house of your dreams. To make it ecologically sound, you put in very few windows and you build a roof with lots of overhang. You then installed high quality shutters that not only reflected sunlight and heat back to the outside, but could be locked down from the inside. You built a separate quarter for a friend and acquaintance who would keep the house clean and allow you to be in your own section in solitude. No phone, no radio, no television, no internet. You finish the house, excited to be living out there. The openness of the field, the light and beauty of nature, and yet mostly enamored with the house itself. You put everything you had into designing that house. You feel it is truly you, to the point that you start spending more time indoors. You lock the doors and the shutters for safety. The house begins to feel like a fortress. And that felt safe. You gradually become accustomed to living within the confines of the house in safety. Spend your days reading and writing, feels comfortable in there, climate controlled, full spectrum lighting system, to the point you find it so comfortable you stop going outside altogether. The inside is familiar, predictable, and within the realm of your control. The outside unknown, unpredictable, and out of your control. You leave the lights on all the time. You don't even notice that until they burn out. No one had left replacement bulbs. You were left to find your way around in the dark. Other than a few candles that you had, very little light. This became very difficult, yet not difficult enough to force you to overcome the fear about leaving the safety of your house. That begins, the stress of that begins to take a toll on your health physically and mentally. In time, the memory of the beautiful sunlit field fades. Your main concern keeping the house lit. The only light you knew about was the light you created with your precious candles. You notice that it becomes lonely in there, cut off from everything. The only comfort you felt, the sense of protection the house gave you. Not even 100% sure of what you were afraid of. Aware of always being scared and uncomfortable. All you could do to hold yourself together. You then stop reading, writing because of no light. It was dark. Then one day, your companion, the housekeeper, shared shared the knowledge with you that he had found a supply of emergency flashlights that could be powered simply by shaking them. He had set some up and the cellar was radiant. It became a true turning point. You go about the business of creating light, beauty, happiness within the confines of your home, decorating the rooms, keep the light shining brightly until you go to sleep. You begin once again reading and writing. One day you come across a book in your library that talked about the natural radiant light that exists outside. Speaking of more light than you could ever imagine, without anyone having to do anything to create it. You didn't really have a clue what this book was talking about. You only viewed things in relation to the way you were living. Living inside that house, living inside of darkness. You lived there so long that your hopes, dreams, beliefs were founded upon the inside of that dark house. Your entire world was about keeping together the life you had managed to build for yourself within the confines of the house. Yet the book continued, that you continued to read, spoke of what it was like to actually move around in natural light, describing a luminous, omnipresent light that shines everywhere, a light that falls on everything. Even though you had no frame of reference for understanding this, it touched something deep inside of you. The book discussed going outside, beyond the walls of the world you had created. It even said that while you are attached and enamored with the world you created to avoid the darkness, you will never know the abundance of light that is beyond the confines of your house. How you would never go outside when you were so dependent upon what you have built inside. That is the analogy of the house. Our consciousness, our awareness of being living deep inside of us in an artificially sealed off area that is absolute. It has four walls, a floor, a roof. It is solid so that no ray of that natural light comes in. How you go about busily decorating that daily, trying to bring things in there, hoping to create a little light. That is our visual for today's contemplation, to fully grasp where we have been living, where our attention has been going, our awareness. Let's take a moment to regroup and contemplate that. as we return to silence.